Welcome to my studio here, Brickwork Grand Bahama. We have a special guest here today. He's going to be showing us some stuff. And in fact, he's here sitting down waiting. Here we have Mr. Colyn Mo Grant.
Hey, peace and love.
Yes.
Always.
From Bahaman, former drummer. Still is the drummer. It's nice to have you here.
It's good to be about.
All right.
I've been doing it from 1972. Okay. And my first record was Go Down the Ratio with Gary Davis and the Vendors. We started right here in Freeport. I came to Freeport at the age of...
18, I think you tell me.
No, I turned 18 that year. I was 17. 1973. Just before independence. I came out around, look, and that's it, man. But Bahaman, but before Bahaman was Gary Davis and High Voltage. Hanging out with my good friend Bo. We met back in Nassau back in the 70s, Bo.
Late 70s, early 80s.
Early 80s. And we've been cool ever since. Man, he was the pilot, of course. He got other skills than drums. He's a very talented man. Fly away to the sky.
Yes, but my real love is the drums,
Yeah,
but
everybody got
yes.
at least with a plan B. Because drums don't last forever.
Right.
I was kind of fortunate to still be doing it at this age. I won't say what age, but I started back in the day. So I was saying, like I said earlier, I came to Freeport in '73 with Gary Davis, who is famed for Go Down to Ratio and Funk Machine. They were his two big songs. But before that, he was famous for a couple of songs with the Blue Notes and the VIPs. One being Suzanne by Richie Haven, and the other one was High Flying Bird, which he did with the VIPs. I think he did it with both groups, with the Blue Notes and the VIPs, and the weird thing about how we got together was that I was at a concert in the Cabaret Theater. It's back in the day. There was a lot of bands there, and Gary just left the VIPs, and he formed his own band called Gary Davis and the Vendors. And I was at this concert with my mom and my aunts, and I saw this band playing. So I just said that in my mind. I say, boy, I'd like to play like with that band. Just saying. I had no expectations because I was still in high school. I had no expectations. My last year of high school, I had no expectations. And then while I was in high school, I was this guy named Frank Mullings, who was a friend of Gary, because Frank scouted me through my mother. He scouted me. He came to the house, heard me play drums.
Yeah, I know Frank. Frank Mullins.
Right.
His wife is my sister godmother.
Okay, Lorraine.
Yes. We work the Royal Bank.
Right. So Mom and Frank used to work together. And she say, I got a son who's played drums. So he came by the house one day and he heard me practicing. And he say, Daw, which is this called Mom, I can take him with me. And I used to do gigs with him. And like while in high school, we used to work. He had a gig at the Buckingham Lounge where the VIPs used to play, actually, but that was the night off on Mondays. So he would pick me up and take me, and he had a band, and I was the drummer, and I was making a couple of dollars. So I felt like a big man, like I could buy the girls lunch at school. I was balling. I was balling. So I didn't think nothing much of it. And then Gary, drummer, left, who was Simeon Roll, who was a very great drummer. He left, and Gary had an audition out for drummers, and and he told me to he hooked me up with the audition. Now I went to the audition, but now I don't know who all played. I don't know who was there, but I know once I did what I was supposed to do, um, I he told me that I got the gig, that he's gonna hire me, and I felt kind of excited because I know Gary was famous to me. I look up to these guys as a kid in high school, because the bands were very popular, like the Blue Notes and the VIPs were very popular bands back in the '70s. So it was an honor for him to have chosen me to play with him. And our first job, the first band members were Hubert Gibson, God rest his soul, who I found out just died a
Yeah.
couple of days ago. Hubert Gibson on keyboards, Junior Hepburn on bass, who's a phenomenal bass player, Gary Davis, and myself. And my first job in Nassau, my first real job in Nassau was at the Banana Boat. And that was my first taste of being a professional musician. And then Gary got a gig in Freeport, but Junior and Hubert, they had commitments in Nassau, so they stayed in Nassau, and Gary brought me here. And I think we came here, it was like July 8th or something like that. It was early, just before independence, because everybody was trying to get back to Nassau for the big celebration in Nassau. So I came here. So that's my introduction to the professional life. So I've been doing it now. If you count in high school, that's 51 years, and fortunate to still be doing it now. So
So,
here I am.
so who some of the who
My
some?
boys' Bowes studio.
Yes, Freeport Grand Bahama, Marcel Bowes studio. Yeah, but we planned to play a few songs what he played on, but unfortunately my computer
And,
my computer went down at the wrong time.
It's okay, but
Can't
stuff
get it.
happens, like
Can't get a charge.
we'll do that. Like I say,
Yeah, yeah, but I'm just so glad that you come just to see me, man.
Yeah, man.
To have a professional like you.
Of course, I got lost. I didn't get lost because I followed directions to the T. I just made the foot. I counted the corners wrong, but I followed directions to the T. One thing I'm kind of good. I'm kind of good with directions. So once I've been here once, you can't lose me no more.
All right. So you play with Gary Davis. Play with
I play with Gary Davis. Then
you say Frank
we
Mannings,
recorded, like I said, we recorded Funk Machine.
Criteria Studio.
And Go Down to Ratio, which my first studio recording, and that was done at Criteria Studios in Miami. And at the studio at the same time, I didn't even know who they were, but I saw these long hair, hippie-looking guys. I was a hippie-looking guys, but standing outside Studio A, smoking cigarettes or whatever they were smoking, cigarettes. So, and I come to find out that was the Eagles. So I didn't realize that I was in such great company. And then one of our engineers at Criteria was the late David Sadskin, who was also he also recorded Bob Marley also, because all those guys recorded at Criteria Studio, man. Back in the day, that was the studio of choice in South Florida, was our Criteria Studio. So I had a chance. I'm happy that I got a chance to record there. Unlike today, where everybody record here, next one record there, everybody played at the same time. It wasn't like no you had no tracks to play to. You played raw with you heard everybody, and everybody was jamming at the same time. And I think we need to get back to that, because it's nothing like a feel. Because normally how people do it today now, the drummer would come in and put his thing. The bass player would come in and do his thing. The guitar player, if he in New York or London or Japan, they just send him the tracks and he play on that. It's cool, but it's not organic. Like when you really sitting down with everybody and you feeling the vibe, because you could improvise then. But when you playing by yourself and you listen to the track later with the bass player playing, you realize that, boy, I could have done this or I could have done that. But that's the beauty of playing together. And that's how all the groups recorded in the 70s and mid 80s. From the 60s, from back then up until the mid 80s. Because that's where the magic was. If you realize, all the classic songs are sampled now because they were played live. It had life. So all the rappers using the samples because they were real drums. James Brown, drummer, is the most sampled drummer I think in the world. Unfortunately, he never got any credit for it, But
Clyde Stubblefield.
Yeah, Stubblefield, great drummer, man. Pocket. I call it Pocket because he was right there, man. Not a lot of fluff and
Flashy.
flash. I mean, it's good to have that in your bag, but when you're playing with a band, it's best to be the foundation, and just be you and the bass player is the foundation, and everything else is the dressing. Because if you make a roll every 4 bars or every 8 bars, it spoils the groove, man. The groove could kind of sit and marinate. And that's what Parker's all about, marinating. We do little simple fills, nothing long, little 2-beat fills or something like that, and that's it. You don't want to spoil the groove.
No, I noticed something. Every time if I hear you play, if I'm not watching who is playing, I could tell because your hi-hat. Your hi-hat have a sound.
My hi-hat is, and I could go on record and say this. I've listened to a lot of music, a lot of drummers, internationally, and like how everybody get their thing. My hi-hat is very unique. I ain't never heard anyone play hi-hats like how I play hi-hats. No drummer from the top to the middle. I had none. My hi-hat is my signature. And you're not the only one that says, but a lot of people said like when they had a hi-hat, like they could tell us me. The hi-hat to me comes natural. It's like if I'm playing a beat like, I gotta do something like, it's not straight. I could do that, but this bring more flavor. So when I did the Jungle Groove, I started off with Dr. Off, Tyrone Fitzgerald. The first song was Ooh Ooh Jonkunu. That was played by myself, Roy Munnings, bless his soul, the original guitarist for the beginning of the band, Funky Nassau. That that classic guitar strum was Roy Munnings. Roy was very unique in his own fashion too, with rhythm. Isaiah was on bass, and Dr. Off, Tyrone Fitzgerald, played the goat skin and sang. He used to compose songs on the goat skin drum, and then later on, I think Tinkle Hannah and some girls came on. Tinkle Hannah is also an awesome musician, a keyboard player from Nassau back in the day, and I think he played the keyboards. And then we did a song called. We did a couple songs.
Rat Bat.
Yeah, the Rat Bat. Get involved. That's me. That's a part of my journey. A small part, but good for now.
Man. Oh man.
Yes,
man, you make me want to pick up the drums again. After Who Let the Dogs Out? Who let the That's the song. I ain't no singer, but hey, I ain't no singer. Yes, first guest here in the studio.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
I have him in the studio. Colyn Mogran, the man from Baha Man, High Voltage, Gary Davis, and the Vendors. You name it, he played on it.
Oh, yeah.
Or he's here just showing me a thing or two, you know. I like to learn from an old pro, you know. It's good to be back.
Look, you sound so old, man. You're only as old as you feel.
Yes.
And I still feel like a teenager.
All right.
See how I dress? With little shorts, you know what I mean?
Hey, you ready for the beach?
Little shorts, ready to rumble!
Yeah. In the studio.
With the cameraman, Mr. Oliver.
Yes, Oliver Twist. All right, thank you. And the one and only cameraman from church, Mr. Oliver Smith. I'd like to thank you also for stopping by. I have some cameras, but not like that, what you have there, you know. You are the real deal. Like, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yes, sir.
The one and only Colyn Mogran, all the way from Nassau. He came over the personal trip, decided to come by and visit me in the studio today. So I'd like to say it's a pleasure to have him stop by, show us some of his tricks on the drums. You know, I know him from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and all the way up to today. You know, and he was so grateful, humble, kind, generous. Come by. And so I can interview him, put him on my channel. So stay tuned for some Who Let the Dogs Out? Yes, we're going to give you all of that. You know, he inspired me after they won that Grammy Award in 2000. He took me out of retirement after being in retirement for a number of years, hanging up in 96. I said, if they can do it, I can do it too. But I'm still waiting, still hoping to have my moment of fame back all over again. And before I go, I like to say, good things don't come cheap. And cheap things just ain't no good. See ya! Like, subscribe, share, and comment to this channel.
Audio Jungle.